I teach drums, and Beckham came to me when he was pretty young, and I would say he was not my favorite student at the beginning. So he just didn't practice very well, and like I could tell that the passion for drums was there, but he just hadn't like figured out how to execute it.
Living in a house with a drummer, as any parent would, have some hesitations. The amount of noise that is going to come from it, especially when they are not trained, it's just noise. It gets really loud.
Ever since I was a kid, I've loved rock music so much, and just music in general. I used to only be able to fall asleep to Def Leppard. I would play on a little Lincoln log tin with chopsticks when I was a kid, and up until I was maybe 8 years old, I got a tiny little kid's drum set, and I learned a few songs, and I ended up doing some little covers with my dad just because I thought it'd be fun. And
when he started the AMP program, it like really motivated him. And so just a couple years after he started that, he became my favorite student.
I see us as a catalyst, something that teaches the essential bridge skills between like learning on your own and going out and doing it yourself. That bridge area is so hard, and it's something that isn't really addressed in school, and it's not really addressed in college, and having mentorship is really important, and it's hard to find, and so providing a way to clearly get that is one of the most valuable things I think we can offer.
With teaching one-on-one, our staff is really dialed into creating their own curriculum. What are your goals? What are your musical ambitions, your musical dreams? Let's really focus like microscopic energy on that.
AMP really helped me to practice because it kind of gave me a reason to practice. I had to get my songs practiced so that it was ready for the people that I was playing with. Otherwise, I would feel unprepared. Just doing that and playing so many different songs got me just a lot better at all different styles.
His first experience at AMP was a summer camp. The kids would meet every week and then learn songs and do a big concert at the end.
We try and make it as professional as possible to give the real experience of performing.
As a parent, I didn't know how good he was sometimes until he was up there playing.
I met some of my best friends there, and that's where I even started my band, was just from meeting people from jam bands. Even from the first camp, I just remember showing up and just seeing a bunch of kids that were just as motivated and excited for it as I was. And I think that was a dream to me because I was able to play with other musicians and I wasn't just sitting in my basement alone playing the drums.
I get a lot of weird requests from students when it comes to the concert. They want to do like, what if we lit my guitar on fire? Or what if we did this? And I'm like, okay, I love the enthusiasm, but maybe we tone it down a little. So a good example of Beckham, it's just a band full of boys, and they wanted to take off their shirts and just play shirtless. And I'm like, okay, maybe we just keep our shirts on. And I said, nobody wants to see your nipples. So I thought the matter was resolved. They go up to play their song, all the shirts are on, so I'm like, okay, great. But then right before they start the song, off goes all the shirts.
So we taped our nipples and took our shirts off anyways and ended up playing the whole song like that. I don't think he was too happy with me, but but it was really fun.
I so worried that like after the song I went up to the mic and was like, I did not condone this behavior. I'm sorry that these kids took off their shirts. It's just fun that the kids are thinking of how do we put on a good show? How do we get the audience to like stay captivated or like be invested in us as a band. It's these kind of things that the kids come away with that make the social part of AMP such a good experience. They can express themselves and do it alongside friends, and yeah, we love providing that for them.
Seeing him actually be with a band and seeing all these kids that were equally as passionate about their instrument as he was, it was so fun. I mean, I've never smiled so much in watching him up there on stage and watching the progression from year to year and seeing each of these kids improve with not only their instruments, but their stage presence, their confidence, their entertaining, qualities. They all just like completely blew us away.
He started just like really knocking out of the park, just like all styles. He's just growing through this until he gets to his senior year. And he's kind of thinking about college and what he wants to do after high school. So I mentioned that to him. I'm like, well, maybe think about Berklee College of Music. It is hard to get in because it's one of the best music schools in the world.
Honestly, being at AMP was enough for me to be like, well, why don't I go to a school where there's also tons of other musicians and people I can collaborate with? And I thought going to Berklee would be the best place to do it.
When he brought up Berklee, I had no idea. So when he was telling me about, it being the #1 contemporary music art school in the world, the amount of people that come out of there winning Grammys, knowing his passion and knowing that, how pumped he was about it, I was like, let's do it. Let's try and see what happens.
We prepped for the audition, we got a song, and we started working on some music theory that he had never really done before. And then the audition came, and he called me and he's like, I just feel like it went so bad. Like, I feel like my song went well, but every other part of the audition was horrible. I think it was about a month later, he got his acceptance letter, and he called me so excited.
Oh my gosh, like I got into Berklee.
I'm so grateful for the opportunity to just see from that not very good at practicing, that first moment that I met him, the growth from there to getting a scholarship at this prestigious music school is really cool.
I don't think that confidence that he exudes in general with everyone would have been here if it weren't for the program. I really think it has molded him into who he is now.
If it wasn't for AMP, I definitely wouldn't have the passion to go to music school or even pursue music, but I just remember that first camp, it just really sparked something that I just didn't want to stop playing and performing. And so when I did decide, I want to continue music, I knew that, getting into Berklee or going to Berklee was something I really wanted to do. And I think if it wasn't for AMP, I wouldn't have been able to have the passion I did to audition and go there.
We will work our very best to get whoever participates ready for a career in music, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the goal. We have a lot of kids and adults who it's their hobby. They just do it for fun, and they do it so they can meet more people.
There is a place for everybody in music. You get the ability to know how to practice. You get the ability to know how to handle yourself in social situations. You get the ability to know how to learn effectively.
It's a really great opportunity for anyone, and I also, just being a musician and artist, just really believe in the impact that art and creativity has in a community. We need it to express ourselves. Everybody has a song, that you can listen to that will either calm you down or pump you up. Music plays such an important part in our lives, even if we don't recognize it.